Platteville now, where emergency officials will update us on the storm damage.
And we are getting our emergency crews out. At this point, we have identified 12 homes that have been completely demolished. We have an additional 20 homes that have substantial damage. We are doing everything we can in our power to get out there and get the streets cleared and get people's possessions and property under security. We have had an emergency shelter that has been established at the Platteville High School for people who are looking for shelter. It's at 710 East Main Street. We also had a volunteer station established, so if anyone wants to volunteer to help with this, to help with the cleanup, we're asking people to bring their IDs and to have boots and gloves and perhaps show up at the high school as well. From there, you'll be given an assignment as to what area could be cleaned up with your assistance. I guess lastly, I need to talk a little bit about all of the different agencies that are helping us at the City of Platteville. We've got Lancaster Fire and EMS, Cuba City Fire and EMS, Muscadet, Stitzer, Hazel Green, and a lot of other agencies that I haven't mentioned that have really helped out. We've got Grant County Emergency Management, and we've even got the Governor's Office well aware of what's happening in Platteville, and we're taking every necessary step to get the situation cleaned up and fixed. We are aware that there are additional storms coming, so we're trying to prepare for that in addition. Our Public Works Department is actively working to remove debris from the roads and to establish dumpsters where people can drop waste materials. We also have a compost site for our residents who have downed trees and are looking for a place to dispose of their trees. Please take that to the compost site. The most important thing, though, that I need to stress, and that is that of the 12 homes that have been damaged, everyone has been accounted for. In our shelter, no one has shown. We've got everybody accounted for. We did have 5 injuries, one of which needed transport, but it's a comforting thought to know that the community is going to be just fine. As a whole, we've endured worse, and we're going to continue to flourish. Of the 5 people that were injured, 4 of them were just minor cuts and bruises, and then we also had a little bit of damage to UW-Platteville. And so with me today, I've got Paul Erickson, the Public Information Officer with UW-Platteville. Paul?
Well, thank you, Larry, and thank you for all the help that the city has provided. It's amazing how much the city streets have been cleared already from last night to this morning. As Larry said, we did sustain some damage on a UW-Platteville campus. We had 4 buildings, including 3 residence halls and our engineering hall, and Pioneer Stadium received some pretty substantial damage. Pioneer Stadium, 2 light towers completely snapped in half, and that's kind of a mind-boggling sight. One of the biggest things that I think we are feeling around the campus, though, is we're pretty lucky that we had no injuries on campus. Damage, obviously, you don't like to see it happen, but the way that the storm came through on that part of campus, it did not hurt anybody. We have quite a few cars that are totaled that had debris on them, but overall, we came through this pretty well. Classes are canceled today on Tuesday, and we are asking all non-essential employees, that is those who are not directly involved in like feeding our students and things like that, and not to report, to stay away from campus until we can assess damage and clean up our campus.
There are still classes, but we're in a summer term?
The summer term has started, yes, which makes for not as many students on campus, so it makes clearing the residence halls that we had to do last night much easier. We did have some summer camps, and we have moved those students to residence halls on the other side of campus as well.
Thanks. Any other questions?
The one person that you said was transported to medical care, how are they doing?
We are still awaiting reports. We wish them all the best. As a community, we're trying to pull together, and everything seems to be going very well. But when you do have a high wind event such as this, there will be problems or injuries, and we're doing our best to try to handle that.
And whether it's UW-Platteville or the city in general, is there any estimates as far far as the cost of this damage?
Staff are currently researching that right now. We're putting together our reports as we speak. We're hoping to have that together yet today.
That's all my questions.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time. And I know I speak for the university when I say that, it takes an emergency, sometimes an emergency really helps pull a community together, and we have seen a lot of that already this morning.
And you have been watching a live news conference coming to us from Platteville, where emergency officials are updating us on the storm damage from overnight in Dane County and in the Platteville area. And officials saying dozens of homes there did suffer some sort of damage. And 4 buildings on the UW-Platteville campus suffered damage, including the stadium where the football and soccer teams play. So no classes there today. We'll continue to monitor the situation there and bring you all the pictures and information that come into our newsroom as we continue live at daybreak. Right